live. Hey, we live. Welcome back. You're watching Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. I'm your host, Jules DJ. Welcome back to another episode of Who Do You Got? We do this every Monday night, every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Who Do You Got is basically the show where we take two of your great hip-hop giants and have them go round for round to answer the overall question, who do you got? Tonight's battle consists of some very big heavy hitters, underground, literally legends of the 90s era. You know, we stay loving the 90s boom bap era over here at Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. We're talking about two legendary groups with two legendary mentors involved. We're talking about the epic, iconic groups. We're talking about EFX versus Lords of the Underground. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes makes some noise.
Yeah. What up?
Once again, you know how we do it here every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to follow us on every single kind of thing out there, from your YouTubes to your Facebooks to your Instagrams. Everything Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. Again, I'm your host, Jules DJ. Let's go around the room real quick and introduce everybody that's in the chat right now. Starting first with my man on the West Coast, my man Cool Breeze. What's going on, baby?
What up? What up?
Hey.
Cool Breeze.
You know how we do this, Breeze. We get a quick who do you got off the bat. So we're real quick and simple. EFX, Lords of the Underground. Who do you got?
Once again, it was a tough one. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with EFX on this one, bro.
Going with EFX. All right. We're gonna get around to why you feel that way.
Yes, definitely.
But I have a feeling you know what you're talking about, brother. This is the era that we grew up in.
Yes.
Moving back on over to the East Coast after someone else that I grew up with that listens to these same albums. We're talking about my man DJ Scantastico. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, man?
So talk to me, man. You know, real simple, real quick and easy. Who do you got?
This was a really tough one, man. This is really hard, but I narrowed it down to I'm actually gonna go with the Lords of the Underground, man.
Oh snap!
Wow.
We gonna get into it. We gonna find out why, and I'm curious to hear that. Let me jot that down. Scan in the other box. Got it. My bad. I'm trying to do 50 million things at one time. My bad. Okay. Keeping it East Coast, keeping it Queens. My man, 50 grand. Triple C in the building.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, baby? I already know you got an answer ready to go. Just drop it on us, man.
The Lords.
The Lords of the motherfucking Underground.
Oh.
I didn't see that coming, Triple C, but I'm interested to hear your version of why. I mean, your reasoning why this is happening. And again, not judging. Just caught me off guard, is all.
I want to hear what Hobo has to say, man.
Segueing over to the last, but not least of the crew. Out of the DMV, my man DJ Hobo, what's going on?
What up? What up? What up? What up, Hobo? What's good?
So Hobo.
Boom, 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 boom.
Who you got?
I mean, I guess it's me and my man Cool Breeze against Triple C and So I'm going with that. Bum, stiggity, bum, EFX.
It's a rare thing, ladies and gentlemen, when we get a fair-sided battle, so 50-50-ish across the board. Honorary mention to my man Mastermind 24K. Again, we love you, kid, but I didn't think this was your cup of tea. I know you're more up to date on the Dipset and the Locks. Thank you for your participation on that. But tonight we had to keep it a little bit old school. We kept it 90s. We kept it very golden era. And this is what we're talking about tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about EFX versus Lords of the Underground. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes. Who do you got? Let's get right down to it. Let's get into round number one. You already know how this goes, fellas. All right. So when it comes down to these two iconic groups, there's only one way to start off this whole situation. You know how we do here. We talk about things. You know, it's not a straight up multiple choice kind of answer situation. Sometimes it is. In this case, it's not. What we're talking about right now is let's talk about each particular group's OGs, their mentors when they came into getting into this game. When we talk about EFX, we're talking about none other than the legendary Long Island hip hop duo EPMD. And when we're talking about Lords of the Underground, we're talking about none other than Queensbridge's own, Queens respected, Queens get the money. Don't forget Queens and everything that you say. Marley Marl, the dog. All right. So we're talking about the mentors. So what do you guys think? You know, when we talk about these, these two, we're talking about two legendary hip hop giants. Is it safe to say, and I could be wrong, I'll look to do this scan for a little light to shed on this if I'm wrong or right, but is it safe to say EPMD were the mentors of EFX, or was it more one side on the production side, and on the production side I mean, is it Eric Sermon all the way? Like, what's going on?
I mean, to my knowledge, it was more of an EPMD. With DOS Effects, I know when DOS Effects, when they split, they sided with Parrish.
They did.
So you know, to my limited knowledge, it seemed like DOS Effects was more rolling with EPMD. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Eric Sermon handled the production on most of this stuff.
Okay. I mean, I honestly looked that up.
I think that's correct.
I couldn't find a lot of. I mean, I didn't go track by track, but I'm just curious on how many tracks Eric Sermon actually produced on that first album. Because it looks like, from what I could find, a lot of production on DOS Effects was done by quote unquote them and a crew called Solid Scheme.
Solid Scheme, right, yes.
And all I could really find was They Want Effects, the remix by
Sermon.
So I don't know. Yeah. But again, I read something interesting this past week that said, and it's coming straight out Parrish Smith's mouth in this book that I read called Check the Technique. Talking about stuff. And he claims, and Eric don't dispute it in this book article, that he produced most of the first 3 albums, not Eric Sermon.
Really?
That he is responsible for most of that production. He says he doesn't feel no way about it. He said, I know a lot of people think Eric did it. He said Eric did the first track he ever produced was on the 3rd album, he said. And he said the name of it, which I'd have to look it up. But he was like everything. So all the, you know.
Maybe that's why they sided with Parrish.
Triple C with the interesting.
Triple C.
Yeah.
With the interesting connection. Is that a okay. Can you expand on that? Can you give us an example, or like why?
No, because you just said it. You just said it seemed like Parrish did most of the stuff. So
but then why was Parrish so respectfully so dry after that? Why was Hit Squad not
right?
Okay, we're not gonna turn this into Hit Squad versus Death Squad. But just again, you're right. They sided later with PMD, but originally schooled by EPMD, as even it says in there on my research on Wikipedia. But nonetheless, we talk about EPMD, the legends, master in production, even if it was Parrish and Eric as whatever.
Right.
What did that help bring to the table in terms of them introducing them? I remember the first time I'm hearing They Want Effects, and I hear Eric Sermon's voice just even in the sample.
Right.
I'm saying to myself, oh, this is legit. Like they are legit. Like they wasn't no Rumpelstiltskins or no kind of group out of nowhere. It was like, who are these dudes? But EPMD's involved. Hold on.
Right.
That's all I knew.
yeah, the EPMD co-signed. So
Yeah. But how do we find out about the co-sign? Because it's like they weren't in the video. Were they in the video?
Well, according to EPMD found, because they both went to Virginia State. So they did a talent show at Virginia State, and EPMD was there, and they didn't win the talent contest. But according to what the story said, was that EPMD signed them based off that talent show at Virginia State.
so they did it. So they did a Crush Crew moment with the Fat Boys and Curtis Blow.
Kinda, yeah, to a certain degree. But that's interesting. So Virginia got a stake in this, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, Virginia.
Yes, man. Virginia has a stake in this. Yes, man. That is what he's saying.
So,
Easy.
what you're saying is, got it. Just making sure. I just want to see.
Hobo was there.
I want to see if Hobo was
Hobo was there when they got discovered.
No, I did see them perform when I was in college at JMU. So yes, I did.
Was this pre DOS Effects or like post?
Oh, this was They Want Effects.
Oh, okay. Wow.
On the money, like when it's.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yep. It was dope. It was dope.
I've always said that I feel like the way we gravitated towards They Want Effects, like it's crazy, it's insane, is the way that I think we act today when we hear mumble rap. When we first heard it the first time.
See, I didn't feel that way, man. I mean,
you didn't. That's what I say. You were the kid in this scenario, in this metaphor.
Yes.
You were like, oh, so dope. And again, let's say your older OGs that loved, let's call it like, some Rakim, some Kumo D, even some Bar with a Bar from some Busy Bee. We're like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is what it's come to? Nursery rhymes and again, I'm not making fun of it. I fucking sweated it like everybody else on my fucking page. But I have a feelen they probably looked at it the same way, like, you stupid little motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yo, you speak to certain cats that are like 50 and older. They was, fuck is this?
You can't tell me the Melly Mel's of that time weren't like, what the fuck is this? You can't tell me KRS-One to a certain degree, probably somewhere in the back of his mind was like, the fuck is this?
I don't know.
But they had songs with KRS-One.
Did they?
Yeah. But remember, KRS-One dissed them.
He did, but they had a song with KRS-One.
Ooh, hold on. We got. I wish we could. I wish we had someone that could like a guy on the team that could Google while we're talking about it.
Put that in the
producer to Google. No, but okay, so that's interesting. So okay, but either way, respect it, even if it's not KRS-One, I still feel like I said some of them older dudes were probably just looking at this shit like, what the fuck? And again, us the younger dudes just being like, yo, it's so fire. It's so different.
Yeah, it's so fire because the beat.
But I mean, let's be clear, because they even had the remix. I mean, there's two versions that exist that we both love. But like, that shit showed up, the lyrics, not even the artist or the beat. That shit showed up on an episode of 90210 when your man Brian Austin Green was like the little hip hop kid on the show, sat there with some headphones and said bum stickity bump, and like I noticed that I found this out today. I researched this today because they literally have this bit of information available on Wikipedia. But it's true that song that was like, you know, these two kids, one from Brooklyn, one from Long Island, got all the way to a fucking national television show. Which
I think one of them from Jersey.
From Jersey.
Yeah, they're
from Jersey. My bad. What I said.
Jersey and Brooklyn.
Yeah, there you go. So that song was huge, and again, it made it into the
huge
hip hop dictionary, the hip hop history book. Like there's a chapter that's like, oh, the diggity era. That's right, because it helped expand. As a matter of fact, do you mind if I pull something up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was looking up Das EFX information, obviously, you know, we talk about the diggity area, like we just started talking about, and it said how it almost helped usher in a style that other people sort of mimic to a certain degree, even if it wasn't exactly like them. We're talking about artists along the lines of, like, obviously they say they compared to the Lords of the Underground as well. They say Fushnikins.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Chris Cross started to rap like that too. Again, Chris Cross is not really coming any originality. The young kids are following whatever's hot. But again, that was hot. Even Common at the time on his first album. You know what I'm talking about? So
yeah.
Down to the fact that a few years later, you got Blackstreet coming out with a song called No Diggity. Because now it's part of the culture, it's part of the lingo now. You know, now we say no diggity, no doubt. You know what I mean? So Das EFX, I don't know who the young artist today is to that comparison would be, but we're talking about again, I think a generational gap where I know our OGs are probably like, the fuck. And maybe in hindsight today, they go, okay, that shit's hot. That's just hot. The same way I gotta tell you, the same way I kind of look at some of the shit from the 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time when you think about it, going back to just to add on, like, that was the first time you ever heard that before. You know what I mean? And again, it was completely brand new and unheard of. And then you combine that with what Triple C is saying with the James Brown loop underneath, from I forgot what movie that was from. It might be this. What the fuck am I bugging? But it's from the James Brown loop from the movie. So to have the two, it made a huge impact, man. That's why I think they had such a big impact at the time.
Well, can we talk about their style for a minute? I mean, we're talking about, again, like I said, an underground vibe, lyrics that are like, what? And I feel, and I could be wrong, but like they made 40 Belows, like the movement at that time, the 40 Below Timberland boots.
Timbs, yeah.
Because back then you could still rock your tan Timbs, you could still rock your dark Timbs.
What year was Juice though? I
don't know what year Juice was, but they want EFX came out in 92.
It's around the same.
Okay.
I think it was around the same time.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Because Pac, no, you're right. Because Pac did have him in the movie. You're right.
Around the same time. Because that
Bishop was wearing the 40 Below, so that probably got more screen time.
That series came out in 92. So
yeah. Because that's like army fatigues, army
So it's safe to say they
But
were.
I feel like that's a whole Brooklyn thing. That's like more like
Everybody was wearing that.
duck down. I thought that was a whole Brooklyn.
But
They were before Duck Down though.
Yeah,
Nas had the same
Exactly.
thing too.
What I think was happening was that style. Same way like when with leather medallions was the style everybody was jumping on because that was a style. That army kind of look
Yeah,
was
army
spearheaded by like groups like everybody we just mentioned. But
yeah.
Daz, again, like you had the era of drawing that line yet hadn't been drawn yet. So like being gutter and dark and looking dirty and in the sewer, especially the sewer. They were always the sewer.
Right.
Dark ass, you know, it's like we are underground. It just worked for them. And it never, and scrolling through a bunch of videos today, like there was never a fucking shiny moment for them at all in terms of like,
No, never.
they were fucking
It also makes
hoodies.
New York. That was the 90s era of New York where that's kind of what it was too. You know what I mean?
It was. Well, let's talk about, you know, the rival group for a second. You know, again, so it's safe to say Daz came out in 92. Lords of the Underground first stepped onto the scene about 93. We're talking about mentors at the moment. So now we're talking about Marley Marl at this moment. At this point in time, Marley Marl, production-wise, is legendary. He's still making hits. He's still making records for LL. He's doing a bunch of shit. And if I'm not mistaken, and Scan again, maybe correct me, was he on the radio?
Marley Marl.
I feel like he was on Hot 97 already.
No. If anything, he would have still been on BLS. He would still been on BLS.
Okay, so he might have been on BLS then. Matter of fact, I think you're right.
He still would have been on BLS. That 93. Yeah, he's still think been on BLS.
So again, sort of like the way Dobbs was introduced. Again, you got these three dudes. Well, two dudes rapping. You know, we don't know about the DJ yet, but we got these two dudes rapping. Again, similar kind of looks. I see why the comparison kind of obviously comes into part. You know, it's conversations, very dark. But our first introduction to these guys is Psycho.
Yep.
And for those that don't remember, it goes something like this.
I remember that song.
That's Mr. Funky, man. That's the one. Can I take the stand and slam like Bam Bam? Like who? Like Bam Bam?
Woo! That energy. That was that era when you could and it was like,
yeah, it reminded me of like Onyx.
Yeah, word.
Again, that energy, you right. That energy. Again, like you could yell on the mic back then. And it was just quirky. The voice, you could tell I think they were trying to take a little Cypress Hill kind of page there. I know it sounds kind of weird, but like the concentration on like, we got to come with like a different voice, like kind of tone, like do it on rapping like this. And then Mr. Funke had a very specific voice as well. Like it was just a dope voice. Mr. Funke's voice to me was kind of dope. So boom, so you got Psycho coming out, and then we find out, you know, that Marley Marl was kind of spearheading this whole shit. What are cats thinking at this time? What are cats feeling? What are the DJs in the room thinking about?
That's Marley Marl trying to take this down.
I always felt like Funky Child was a better song, and I think that was the one that got me. Like, okay,
was that the second single? Was it the second one or the third? Because there was a lot of songs that came off that particular album. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. But Chief Rock, I agree, was fucking Funky Child.
I said Funky Child, but Chief Rocker, yeah, Chief Rocker as well.
I feel like Psycho warmed up the streets, didn't do it like they want EFX, for example, like in terms of first singles.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, again, I don't know if it was Chief Rocker or Funky Child. Which one was the smash? I should have looked at. I didn't look up numbers.
Chief Rocker.
I think
Rocker was the smash.
If I'm not mistaken, was definitely got people. They got them a little more notoriety, notoriety, and it was a big. But I think Funky Child then took them over the top. If that makes sense.
Okay. All right. I mean, both them shits was fire. Matter of fact, in looking up today's music, I can't. There's a version of Chief Rocker that exists solely as the video version.
Right.
I can't find the motherfucker anywhere. The album version is the album version, which is slightly different. It's very similar, but the hook is different. Mr. Funke's verse is different, and they dropped the whole boom shakalaka. There's no.
Right.
I like the Boom Shakalaka person.
Right.
They and I don't know, but yeah, but Chief Rocker was fine. So let's not stray off track too much. Marley Marl's involved. We hear that.
And Kid Def.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm getting ready. I'm glad you brought that up, Scan. So we learned about Marley's involvement. For the hip hop nerd heads in the room, we know back then we're checking for that kind of shit, and we're like, oh, Marley, oh, okay, all right, bet. And then you see K Def's name floating around. You're not really familiar yet, so you start hearing about him and Larry Live. And today we hear about K Def's involvement way more than Marley's involvement. If you haven't watched the Drink Champs episode of with Lords of the Underground, they clear that shit right up. They clear that shit up. Shout out to K Def.
Shout out to K Def.
His fucking beats were fire, even if
they weren't
on them. But whatever. It's simple. I mean, you can believe the politics involved in it. Sign the group. I don't have the time to fuck with them. This is my little man right here. He makes dope beats. You four go over there, and I heard that every single track we just mentioned right now, all of them are K-Def.
He traded.
And one of my other favorites off there, Here Come the Lords. That's also K.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a lead song too.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the album as well, by the way.
Yeah. Here Come the Lords.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Lord Jazz hit me one time, make it funky. That was my shit too, bro.
That was my shit too.
That was my shit too.
That was hard too.
That beat was
the videos were kind of good too. Lords of the Underground put out some pretty good videos. Actually, both groups put out really good videos. Again, I went down memory lane today. But again, if I had to choose video wise, I probably would have went more Lords of the Underground. They weren't so black and white. Like DOS FX loved a lot of black and white kind of videos. It limited them, whereas like Chief Rocket video was fire. I just remember being like in some kind of train station or something. Like it just dope in color. But again, just to move on to round two. Let's wrap up round one here. So I guess whose influence did you find more influential when you were coming upon discovering each set of these groups? You found EPMD. You found DOS FX. You go, oh, EPMD's involved. You found Lords of the Underground. Oh, Marley Marl's. Who took your breath away more, if that makes any kind of sense? Was it Marley's involvement or was it fucking EPMD's involvement?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that Marley Marl had anything to do with Lords of the Underground.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that leave you in terms of the question? So you're saying Lords of the Underground? Marley?
Yeah, I think Lords. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Say less.
They said it in some of the rhymes, man. Marley Marl.
Hey, Marley. But again, like you don't. I knew.
Right.
But again, I can see if you're not paying attention, like
Yeah.
thinking he's probably talking to another guy in the group or something. You know what I'm saying? Even though you should have said, "Hey, K Def." That's what he should. But again, he knew how to play the politics. Like, remember that. Don't forget, Do It All became a politician later on in life.
True.
Early on, he said, "I'm gonna say, hey, Marley, hit me one time, make it funky." So Tripp's vote is in the booth right now. Breeze, how you feeling?
Which one was you say took my breath away? No, no one takes my breath away, but
yeah, bad metaphor. Which made you more?
Both sides.
I'll give you a pause. Which one made you more excited when you saw it?
Leave it alone, Jules. All right.
That's a pause.
I'm gonna say I really like both, but I would just say. But once again, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with DOS FX because it was something that we never heard. It was something different.
So EPMD.
Yeah, so I would go with EPMD.
I don't want you. It's okay. We're gonna go with the vote.
It was just a different style. And they was like So I would go with DOS FX or not.
All right. Hobo, what were we thinking about here? Was EPMD's involvement in DOS FX's career more exciting to you than, let's say, Marley Marl's involvement in Lords of the Underground?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I knew that EPMD was involved with DOS FX, and being that I'm a EPMD fan, I was happy about that. Not to say that I'm not a Marley fan, and I wasn't a Marley fan, but it wasn't as well known, I don't think, as an example that Triple C just said he didn't know. So I think for that reason, I got to go with EPMD.
Got it. Trip. Just going back, I'm looking on my screen right now. I could see that in the Chief Rocket video, Marley shows up, and he throws his infamous. If you think about it, this is the video version only. He throws his infamous Juice Crew voice in it. Now that don't make no sense.
Yeah,
He goes, "Come on, man, who cares?"
I thought this is just one thing. I didn't
Oh,
know. I thought
like one time, make it funky, guys. Got it. Scan. Let's wrap this up. I mean, so what are we thinking in terms of influence?
I mean, man, again, Queen's Legacy production is Marley for me, man. That whole Marley K-Def. I mean, for me, that's having Marley as a person to go to for production myself, that influence is always going to be there.
K-Def is from Queens too?
Nice, from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
As was Lords of the Underground.
Yep.
Got it. Moving on to round two. Again, we do this every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the Eats, Beats, and Rhymes show.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm your man, Yo Jules DJ. Everybody around the room, collectively, we make up the Eats, Beats, and Rhymes crew. We are having the hypothetical versus battle in our brain, saying, when it comes to Daz Effects and it comes to Lords of the Underground, who do you got? Round two, fellas. Let's keep it moving. Spoke about it a little bit when we talked about the mentors, that were going on in each group. But let's talk production for a minute. Let's talk about straight beats for a second. When we're talking about each perspective, a particular group here, we're talking about a particular set of producers. Specifically, when we talk about Lords of the Underground, we talk about Marley and K-Def, point blank, period. We're kind of just going to stick to the first two albums for this point of the conversation. Third album wasn't that much of a mover of the needle when it came to Lords of the Underground. Lords of the Underground actually never plaqued at all. And, I think especially kind of came up with here. You know what I mean? They didn't go gold or platinum. Whereas Daz Effects did go platinum on their first debut album, Dead Serious, when it dropped in '92. So they also have a gold single with They Want Effects. So they were off to a fucking great start right there.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from Lords of the Underground, but they never plaqued. But they did chart and peaked at number 66 in the top 200 when their first album dropped. And that's nothing to scoff at. But when we talk production, like I said, we're talking about those two hip hop heavyweights. When it comes to those two guys, when it comes to the first two albums of Daz Effects, you're specifically looking again at Solid Scheme, Daz Effects. Again, I didn't find much Eric Sermon name drops in any of those two albums. And then if we're going to talk about the third album, that's a whole different ballgame. I don't know what happened at the label, but someone decided to spend some money and decided to switch things up when it comes to the production side of things.
Yeah, man.
Daz Effects' budget, because they fucking went all out when it came down to the producers on the Hold It Down album that came out in '95. We're looking at two DJ Premier tracks. We know them as No Diggity, and the other one being The Real Hip Hop. Fucking stupid.
That's the one that had KRS-One on it. No,
KRS-One on what? On the No Diggity?
No, Represent the Real. That was KRS-One.
I represent the real hip hop.
Oh yeah,
that was KRS-One.
Yep, and that's Premier too. You're right. Absolutely.
That was Showbiz.
No Showbiz. Yeah, no Showbiz.
Oh, the other version. Okay, yeah, because there's got it. Yeah. Okay. So there's a Pete Rock version, there's a Premier version of the Real Hip Hop, and then you're talking about what song are you talking about?
Represent the
Real by Showbiz. Okay, boom. So yeah, so like you said, Showbiz is on here, Solid Schemes on here again, Easy Mo B is on here, Clark Kent's on here, DJ Scratch is on here, DJ Pete Rock is on here. I mean, there's a few other guys, respectful name. I'm just gonna put them out there. I don't know. Maybe you guys have heard of Kevin Gita. There's
you talking about the third album or
third album? Yeah,
it's all just the third album. It was that many different producers on here, and this one didn't plaque either. I don't think, but it came out and debuted at number 22 on the top 200, which every single time they dropped an album, it kept going that way. So that's actually not a bad sign. But they didn't you know, again, sales wise, this is what they're really looking at. But again, production. So what do we think here? Personally, I'd love to just start the conversation off, like I said, about K-Def again. I think K-Def is a slept on gem.
Yeah.
He is.
You know how many records he did, bro, that people are unaware of?
He is to Marley what Illa was to Tip.
Mm.
Like, he was like, yo, my little man right here, like, trust me, go with him. Like, no, but I want to be from you, Marley. Like, go with my little man. He gonna do you right. Like, pause. And like I said, I've heard again from their mouths and Drink Champs that every song we love of that first Slows in the Underground album is all K-Def. They're not saying Marley wasn't involved, but they're like, yo, the beat tape was a K-Def beat tape.
It's a K-Def beat tape, yeah.
They were like, it's a K-Def. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know how much, you know what I mean?
Everybody needs to get their start. Everybody needs to get their start somehow.
Side note too, like
this is another fact as well, because again, it all led to him having his own situation later on Big B, right? With Larry O. Was it Larry O or Larry Live?
Larry O, yeah, that was Big B. That was Big B. And I was just gonna add that the youngsters, I think the youngsters' second or third album, that's K-Def, bro. Some of that is K-Def.
The hot one, the fire one?
The Mad Props, that's K-Def, bro.
Mad Props, man.
Yo, hold on a second. And didn't they shoot a video out in Queens?
That was, I think, off the first album, though.
It's the first.
What are you talking about? Lords Underground?
No, that was the youngsters.
The youngsters. They shot a video over on Southside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the youngsters. The youngsters are dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, K-Def, I think, like I said, slept on. Dope scratcher. Can't take his scratching away from a DJ perspective. We some DJs over here. Like, I definitely, again, back then you either watched it on a VHS, which, you know, if you were lucky, or you just really would just listen to someone scratch and be like, all right. And I remember I did that heavy on a lot of the Larry O K-Def shit. What was the joint with the Nas sample? The hair on up your nose? The hair on?
Oh,
Real life. Ooh.
Yeah, man. I mean, K-Def is dope. I gotta go with DOS Effects, man. Because of the first album spawned A1FX, it also spawned the Mike Checker remix, which is bonkers.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what the remix sounded like. I definitely remember the original.
The horns in the beginning.
Can someone pull it up? Trick, pull it up.
They used to play that version more.
I'm trying to remember because I definitely, like I said, when I did my research to that, I found the old one, obviously, the original, let's just call it. But I'm trying to remember when you went, because they was dropping remixes like left. This is also the era where you could drop mad remixes back then.
It only shows Pete Rock.
Here you go.
Yeah, hold on. Go, yeah, go. Do.
Is it playing?
Shit. Yeah, I don't hear nothing. At all.
Hell yeah. Hold on.
I mean, like, at all.
I was in here in my.
Yeah, I see you. I'm like, I was like, he can hear something. We don't hear shit.
Man.
You talking about this one?
No. That's the Pete Rock joint.
Mike Checker remix?
Yeah.
You know it when he play it. You know it.
Well, somebody play it, please. I'm like, it's one of those like I can't like.
Hold on.
I can't go to sleep unless I know.
Hold on.
Because Mike Checker was dope.
Here you go.
Wait, what happened? Maybe pull it back a little bit. I don't hear it.
The volume up, hobo.
You can't hear this?
Nah, I heard the beginning. It started, and all of a sudden, nothing.
All right.
We need to start having like boom boxes or something in the.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got it in my Serato. Hold on. Mike Checker, right? That's the
Yeah.
remix?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought that was
That's
the
it.
original.
No, that's the
No, remix.
Yeah, the remix. I like the remix. Yeah,
This is the remix?
yeah.
Oh, so I don't remember the original then. I thought that was the original.
No,
No.
that's the remix.
Yeah, that's fire right there.
Right. My
one is
point
sick.
exactly.
No, that's fire right there. Wait, so now, okay, we don't have to do this now, but I'm gonna do my own time. I have to look at the original because I do not recall. That sounds like there's a remix to this. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the remix. Right. But it was so hot that it just took over. They didn't play the original. They kept playing that.
And didn't DJ Cool use that for one of his breakbeats, right?
Yes, yeah.
But you know what's sick too about that song, that video was sick as well too.
They had a video of you, right? You're right.
Yes.
That video was sick for that joint.
Again, the visuals both groups were using back then was definitely trying to keep this very underground, very street look.
Very gritty, grimy.
Very gritty, very grimy. For all this funk that Lords of the Underground talking about, I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't see no funk at all. Like, you do look grimy. I love their music either way. Like, I also really enjoyed Lord Jazz's involvement in the songs. Like, if that was all the scratching, because some of it could have been K-Def. Now that we know that, but like Lord Jazz could legit scratch. Like, what was that song again? Lord Jazz, Keep It Funky.
Lord Jazz hit me one time.
Yeah, he went off on that.
Yeah,
he did.
Yes, he did. And that was also at a time when I could be wrong. I don't recall too many, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not gonna say none that nobody else, but I don't recall too many tracks on the album where the DJ would just get busy. Like, this is your track to like a DJ get busy.
No, they had some back and they had some. X-Clan had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
EPMD had one. There was some, but
that's right with Scratch. Yeah.
Your DJ had to really be about that life, though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
We learned the other night.
What's that?
That we learned the other night.
Yeah.
DJ make all the difference.
Yeah.
As Dip said, if you don't know what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
You couldn't be like DJ and have like a scratch track to yourself. That don't make no sense.
And
so again, so Hobo's siding on the Lords of the Underground. No, Daz Effect side, excuse me.
I just felt like, yeah, the production on that joint was really tough for me. And maybe it's too much marijuana and drinking in college and whatnot, but I don't remember all of the first Lords of the Underground album, but I remember all of the Das Effects first album.
Fair enough. Vote has been casted. Hobo set the tone. Cool Breeze, what are you thinking? When it comes down to Das Effects and Lords of the Underground, production style, who did you find more enjoyable?
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Lords of the Underground.
What are you doing?
I just remember like the Chief Rocker joint was my joint.
Chief Rocker was fire.
Chief Rocker was.
Chief Rocker,
you know. Yeah, and the cutting and the scratching in there. So that's what I
cutting and scratching in that shit. Ooh, that shit was a moment. Yeah, all right. I like that. Shaking things up. Cool Breeze on the West Coast, shaking the tree. Shaking things up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crazy night. It's crazy. I don't know. There must be a full moon out.
Yeah, I'm going with the Lords. I'm going with the Lords because.
Oh God damn it! Triple C.
No, because it reminded me of the whole Jersey, the Jersey Drive theme to me. Their music remind me of getting the whip and doing burnouts.
Ironically, they have a song on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack as well.
They do,
and they caught a lot of flack for it. Apparently,
yeah,
them specifically, out of all groups in the world, about a song about carjacking, and it's like you can't be like, no, we did it for a movie about carjacking.
Well,
it's totally legit. Like, there's a bunch of us on there. Like,
yeah, their sound remind me of that.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's whatever makes you, flow into that state of mind. All right, so boom, you scan. What are we thinking about here? Which way is the vote flowing?
Yo, it's tough, man, because you know what? That last album from Das EFX was super strong, man. I mean,
Third one?
yeah, I mean, this it's almost undeniable that with that record. But if you kind of even it out, K-Def has been consistent the whole time, though. In my opinion.
What's our version of consistent with K-Def? We're talking about Lords of the Underground, his own stuff as well with Lario, and what else? You said there was other numerous ones.
There was Youngsters. There was who else was it? Hold on. It was some more East. It was some more other projects that were on East West Records. It's escaping me at the time.
Yeah, but you can't count that. We just talking about Lords of the Underground.
Well, cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So then, if that's the case,
so you can't do that.
Cool. So Das EFX. So we'll say. So if you're saying it right, you're saying Das EFX first album solid. Second one was what? And then third one was a killer, right? Is that? Is it safe to say that?
It kind of.
I think the second one was solid as well.
Son,
Okay.
I'm waiting on Kyle's vote so we can segue into talking about tracks off the first two albums.
Okay.
But,
All right.
let's. I'm so excited to get because if you want to talk about it, I want to talk about Kyle. I want to talk about. Go for it, Kyle. What's up?
I guess for me, I'm picking Lords. I'm picking Lords for it. And it's not one of those things where I overall think that they're just better. It's just I'm just going by the averages for me.
I feel you. So Hobo. Just to add on to what you were going to talk about real quick, because I'll just
yes.
By the way, shout out to Philly 2AZ up in the building, up in the chat room.
It's primo.
So this is what's going on. So Dead Serious comes out. Dead Serious is widely accepted. It does very well. It was platinum. You expect the same thing to happen. But '93 was also, a very fruitful time in hip hop.
Indeed.
Then the second album that drops comes out in
93,
which is straight up Suicide.
Yep.
This album, I thought like you did, and I didn't recognize many songs, except like for example, the singles that are listed on Wikipedia as songs from this album. One's called "Freak It," the other one's called "Back in Effect."
That was big. Freak It was big.
Freak It was big. Back in Effect.
Was it? I feel like it wasn't.
No, it was.
Was it?
I'm a freak it like this.
Let's play it real quick. Hold on, let's play it.
Play it real quick. Yeah, play it real quick.
Whose audio's better?
Huh?
Whose audio's better?
It's as fast as at this point.
Clearly, it's not mine, so I'm not gonna try.
I'm trying to open up my YouTube. Right? I can't even spell it.
While you're looking, give me that microphone was really hot.
What was the name of the show? I'm gonna go with Back in Effect first, and then we'll go with what you said. Freak It was the other one.
Yeah.
Here's Back in Effect. This is listed as a single on here, and this is a dope video. I really enjoyed this video, but the song just didn't grab me that crazy. It didn't make me go, oh yeah. It made me go, oh yeah. Like I wasn't psyched about hearing this over again. Can I hear that? Hasn't kicked in yet. It's not the sound. Y'all remember this?
Yeah, I remember that song.
I do, but I don't remember like just making the splash. Like I just don't remember the second album being that much of a big deal like the way the third one was. So here's Freak It. And even just from hearing it this afternoon, I remember it too. Oh yeah, this video. Oh yeah, I remember this video this afternoon.
I thought you just played Freak It.
Yeah,
no,
you did.
Back in Effect. This is Freak It. See how you don't know? See?
Touche.
And the long intros.
I think Scan needs to play the audio. He got the equipment.
You got all of that equipment. You got to start banging it out. Where the turntables, bro?
Mad low.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
I can't really hear it, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. It's one of those videos that's like super low. Let's see if I can find another version.
Because it kind of keeps
Yeah.
going.
What? Who put out Microphone Masters?
Who put what?
Microphone Masters.
That
That
was
was
the
on
soundtrack.
Hold It Down.
Okay.
And that was with DOS Effects. And
Right.
that was with Mob Deep.
Yeah. What album was that? You said Hold It Down?
That was Hold It Down. Mhm.
Okay.
Y'all was stuck on this one?
That was hot.
Y'all was, really? Okay. I mean, my favorite
Yeah.
on this particular project would have been the remix for Caught in the Act.
Right.
So for me, it was the big joint for me on that album was Give Me That Microphone.
Yeah, let's look that up. I see it right here. Give me that microphone.
Give me that microphone.
Not that sound like an EPMD track right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question. I have a question.
Yep.
Yep.
It kind of so Solid Scheme. Is it possible for some reason? I don't know. I could be wrong. But Solid Scheme, maybe that was Paris and somebody else producing for some reason.
Ooh, good question.
Why do you think that? What made you come up with that theory?
I mean, you know, Jules, you already know I got 10 million records in my house, and I'm originally going through shit in my mind, and shit is coming back to me right now, and I'm like, Solid Scheme. And then I don't know if I remember, and I could be wrong. Again, I could be totally wrong. But for some reason, I'm thinking that might have been Paris and somebody else producing.
And Chris Charity and Derek Lynch.
Okay, so I was wrong. See that I was wrong.
We're still gonna have to look them up though, because
Derek
like
Lynch. That name sounds familiar.
their names could be completely associated with something else nowadays. That like it's like, oh, they started out as like I don't know the names of the guys from Tumbling Dice, for example, but I know they fucking fire together. Okay, interesting. So so it's safe to say that the second album is not as slept on as I thought. But I wanted to actually address the first two albums. We're talking about debut albums right now. We're talking about Dead Serious again against Here Come the Lords. So we're talking about a 92 release for Dead Serious compared to a 93 release for Here Come the Lords. But when we're talking about debut album songs from each particular group, like I said, we talked about Psycho earlier. We played that early. We played a little bit of Chief Rocker. And then we also have, as someone mentioned, a crowd favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was hot.
Here Come the Lords. Again, all of these off the first album.
On the radio.
You couldn't tell me that wasn't about Daz Effects. Come on, man. Crazy similarities to the whole ride. Like,
I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna say it. DOS Effects rhyme better than them, man.
oh shit! All I gotta say is this.
Okay, that beat was great. Yes, I'm with you. But DOS Effects wordplay and rhyme ability is better than this.
I don't know, man. DOS Effects was driving me crazy with those made up stuff.
What do you mean?
I agree.
I
What do you
couldn't
mean?
hear the whole thing. Cause the beat saved them. I couldn't think that all that made up nursery stuff to me.
They did what did they make up? What did they make up? Tell me something.
Tell me
something they made up.
I couldn't take so much of that. All they could take so much of that.
So you didn't
think though.
So
you
you
can hear Daz's growth. You get, especially like on that third album, for example, like when you hear songs like the real hip hop with Premier, for example, like they're no longer doing they're not even doing the diggity on the second album anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
because
do it a little
they
bit,
was running
not
out. They knew they couldn't do that for how many times.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, exactly.
But that goes to my DOS Effects rhymes better than Lords of the Underground.
Hobo. I'll agree with Hobo. I'll agree with you.
And they
I'll
switched it up. They
I'll
switched
agree.
their style up a little bit.
I'll agree with you.
So you say the Lord's rhyme better than DOS Effects?
Nobody.
Lord.
DOS Effects rhymes better than Lords.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with that.
Have any of you heard Hard Like a Criminal?
I heard what now?
Hard Like a Criminal.
Whose song is that now?
It's a DOS Effects song called Hard Like a Criminal.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. Whose album is that on?
It's like a single they put out. It's not on any album. It's a song
DOS
called
Effects, Hard Like a Criminal.
Bonkers.
There's a remix that pops up. Is that the one I'm looking for?
I don't know if it's a remix.
The first thing that pops up is a remix. Let me see. That's well, there's one without Hard Like a Criminal, original uncensored version. Let's go with
Yeah, play that one. It's a really hot song.
Sounds really low.
Well, biggity bust the mover. I biggity beat the two because I'm snapping.
Yeah.
Ready to check this jam that this video I made is having. I'm out. I'm biggity rolling 4 deep. Don't sweat it. I'm keeping it with my niggas.
New York is
Headed. I'm biggity
Can you hear it?
Hold the shit.
Yeah.
I'm rocking my folks the low. The snow, so don't fuck it. Yo, fellas, let's biggity grab the train. Fuck the walking.
I think that's
No. It's too much giggity. It's too much
Play the
giggity.
Okay. Hold on.
the remix beat is different. Yo, Chip is funny. He said biggity, biggity, biggity.
Sound like a Looney Tunes character. That's what they say. That's all, folks.
Yo. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Same lyrics, but the beat's better.
And this is the original.
Well, biggity bust the mover. I biggity beat the two because I'm slamming. I'm ready to check this jam that this city I met is having. I'm out. I'm biggity rolling 4 deep. Don't sweat it. I'm moving it with my niggas. We go where I'm headed. I'm biggity freshly dipped. Cold as shit, but funny I'm rugged. I'm rocking my 40 belows in the snow, so yo fuck it. Yo fellas, let's biggity grab the train. Fuck the walking. Here we go. Yo, why these people walking? You're stupid. You look at my crew and now you're thinking. They must be wild. Fuck no, you one-tongue suit serving, bro. You're staring, you beady-eyed bastard. Hey, what do you think?
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
Ooh, we don't support that over here.
At all.
No, okay, but I mean, so again, I like where we're going with this, Hobo. So you're dropping up another gem, like a favorite of yours from the first album, for example. This is from the first album. This is still.
I don't know what album that was on.
I believe it's still dead serious because I'm the last one that I played.
I want to say it's from that same era. I want to say it's from this.
So again, so we're just kind of running through some songs here, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all just tuning in right now, DOS Effects first goes the underground, and we're just kind of playing a couple of joints from each album. So early on, we played Psycho, we played Chief Rocker, we played Funky Child. Here Comes the Lords. They Want Effects, Mike Checker. I don't have Straight from the Sewer, but I can play it if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, that's my joint too.
That's your joint. Let's go to it. I mean,
Yo,
and we just heard Hard Like a Criminal. So again, I think we're getting a good layout of what each album kind of brought to the table at this point.
Hold on a second, Jules. Scan. Say what you was gonna say.
After that, play Flow On P-Rock remix.
Oh yeah, that's flow.
Okay, here we
Ooh,
go.
I didn't look the Pete Rock remix to that.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, they gotta get their money. You two gotta get their money.
Freshman. That's chill.
They're good for a long fucking 8-bar intro.
Can't really hear it. It's going in and out.
Can't hear it? Hold on, let me see if I can find out. Straight out the sewer.
Damn, we got Teddy Riley mix.
Yo,
I mean, you guys get the gist, man. You see what it is. And I'm gonna play everything we're talking about, Scan. But real quick, we played at least 5 joints off each album real quick. I'm gonna run around the room real fast. Let's do this. When it comes to Dead Serious versus Here Comes the Lords, Daz Effects versus Lords of the Underground, who had the better debut album? Just we literally, you know what I'm saying? We gave a quick little hey, remember this? Remember that? Remember everything we just heard, except for all the early stuff we were trying to, figure out on the second album that we were trying to figure out. But you know what we playing over here, like I said. So we go around the room. Scan, you go first for me. What you got, man?
I mean, no feelings to this. I mean, no feelings, but it would be Das. I give it to Das. It would be Das.
Okay. You want to expand or just because?
I mean, you know how we
said so.
We have our DJ ears, we have our artist ears, and if I have to go with just the question of the better debut, the bigger debut, the one that's more solid, I would have to go with Das.
Oh snap! It's been put on the board. We see how it's going down. DJ Hobo, I'm curious to know, do you have a rebuttal? Are you in agreement? Where do you?
I agree with the honorable DJ Scantastico.
Say the word. Okay, going with
and I'm gonna say that Das Effects also had the better debut album.
I had a feeling you would, but whatever. My man, 50 grand, Triple C. What are you thinking about when we talking about?
I'll concur. I think Das had.
Das.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
It was something new. It was, even though I couldn't handle all that riggedy stuff, but
wait, but you're picking Das though.
Yeah, because they made they had a big impact.
Okay, got it. Say no more. Cool breeze. Where do you stand on this?
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with Das Effects because they had a bigger impact, as Trip said. Remember, I don't know if Lords of the Underground were ever on Arsenio Hall, but Das Effects was actually on Arsenio Hall too.
They probably were.
I think they were. I think they were.
Okay.
Well, they probably were. They probably were.
Probably, yeah. I think they probably were. But I remember when their album dropped, they were on Arsenio, and it seemed like the crowd was very receptive to it, even though they didn't understand what was going on, because it was like they were like dancing all out of sync and stuff. But it was still a good. I think they had a bigger run, bro, and it shows by you said earlier by their numbers and their plaques and stuff like that, which Lords of the Underground never charted, and I'm surprised that they never did. But that's
I am as well. Actually.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. It's an interesting point. I mean, so it's needless to say this entire round went directly towards Das Effects. They won this round without saying. Just to play, the hip hop game devil's advocate for the moment. I want, like I said, just remind you guys, both albums fire, both definitely represent a dope era from when we came out. But Lords of the Underground, I really feel like it was a strong. If I was voting, I would have went with Lords of the Underground. We're talking about Psycho. We're talking about Chief Rocker.
Yep.
We're talking about Funky Child. These are all hits that were on the radio, by the way. Okay? All these other ones wasn't on the radio. Just saying, all these Das Effects records were not on the radio. They wasn't. And Here Comes the Lords. And then we have round number 4 here, where we're talking about Das versus Lords of the Underground.
Real quick, Jules, real quick. Let me just ask him what you just said before you go into the next one, real quick. Interesting statement, because what you just said was 100% true. I think for Das Effects, though, those cuts on the albums, on that album, we know, like Lucy's and all those other songs somehow are their own classics in their own right for people who know that album. Just a quick one.
Agreed.
Oh, we're talking about Lords? Yeah.
I mean Das.
Das Effects. You talking about Das Effects?
Das, my bad. Yeah. I feel like I said, both groups, were dope. But we were gonna segue to round number 4 that we're gonna go to right now when the Scannon mentioned another song that was, again, a gem featured on Here Comes the Lords. I wanted to hold off on that song for the simple reason sometimes we just gotta go, song for song. That's just how we do it here, these rounds, right? So it's one of their moments. So we're gonna go ahead and get right down to it. When we're talking about Das Effects versus Lords of the Underground, both groups have done work with one of the most legendary producers in the game. We're talking about the legendary Mount Vernon iconic guy himself, Pete Rock. We're talking about Flow On versus Just Some Men.
Oh,
Need a refresher.
Man, I'm hurt. Skip me this round. Skip me this round.
Oh, you're weaseling out, huh? Hiding under your equipment, are you?
It's the ball.
Crazy. T-Rock on the beats. Goes underground on the mic. But does that song beat this? And I'm asking you guys.
Oh, no. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No.
Like Menudo.
Is it over? Like,
My part right here.
Triple C's loving it.
Vanilla wafers, baby.
Bobbity and not on Triple C.
Good point.
Well,
Good point. And this is the first album. Very good point.
Yeah, but well, who are you talking about though? Pete Rock. That made I told you.
Well, that's the question, Triple C. That's the question I posed to you
the
first.
beats made them in saving grace. If they didn't have those hot beats, I probably wouldn't be digging it like that. I wouldn't be digging it.
Well, that's part of the game, is having the hot beats. You know, it's
Yeah.
part of the equation to solve. You know what I'm saying? So they did a good job. But I say let's go with you first, Triple C. When it comes down to, you know, P Rock's involvement in both groups, we're talking about JUSSUMEN and Flow On. Who do you got?
It's JUSSUMEN.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
Triple C is
Ah.
the building. He's
Triple
spoken.
C is enjoying the DOS effects tonight.
Cool breeze on the West Coast, feeling that West Coast breeze.
Yes,
I gotta
yes,
come up
yes.
with better fucking little things for every time I can't keep mentioning the fucking.
We have time.
But when it comes down to Flow On versus JUSSUMEN, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with that Daz, man.
That is a badass song.
Yeah, it was both of them them joints are hot, but I mean that one just kind of pulled off in the race a little bit harder.
Yeah, it goes hard. Scan. Pause. Scan.
Biggity pause.
Biggity pause. Does that mean you're going the way that I think you are?
Say it again.
Because you said piggity pause, I'm like, does that mean you're going the way I think you are, which is
Man,
DOS effects?
it's a no-brainer, man. It's DOS effects, man.
Ooh, shit.
Hmm.
Look at Hobo.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
DK, like my people uptown say, DK.
Facts
You
over
don't even have to ask me. You already know.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
No, the DOS effects joint for sure.
Oh shit.
DOS
Yes.
effects for sure.
I got it going on because my crew is up. I dance up, I glance up like Toro. I shop at D'Agostino for a bag of Stella Doro.
He said for a bag of Stella Doros.
That still don't even open no more.
Okay, so you're giving your vote to DOS effects.
Yes, sir.
Oh, here we go. Oh, boy.
Claro, yes.
Well, say this entire
Claro
round.
que
We
sí.
both know where the DOS effects. Enough said. Fellas, we're moving on to round number 5. We're talking every Monday night here live on Twitch TV. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night, 8 p.m. Standard Time. I don't know what the other times are, but 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes crew, we bring you this show called Who Do You Got? We take 2 hip-hop giants, 2 hip-hop crews, 2 hip-hop albums, 2 hip-hop icons, whatever the subject matter may be that day, and put them against each other and come up with this whole segment called Who Do You Got? Tonight, we're talking about DOS effects versus Lords of the Underground. 90s golden era hip-hop is on the brain. here we go. Round number 5, fellas. Respectfully, when we're talking about both groups, who did you like more in 93 and 94? Simple question. Honest, simple question. Who did you like more in 93 and 94?
Running out of questions, huh? All right.
Well, no, let me stop. But yeah, I'm running out of questions. I think you know the stab was coming. I think you can read between the lines.
I like your honesty.
But yeah, so again, I try to bring it back to like in a frame of mind in 93. I mean, when we think about hindsight wise, I think it's easy to look back at both albums.
I'll answer that one first. I'm gonna go with Lords of the Underground.
Why is that?
Looking back, well, the thing is that, like, to me, you kind of saw a little bit more with them in the videos, other people's videos and things like that. You saw them, we kind of had like more of a backstory, because they went to college together and they shot some of a music video on their college campus. And then you saw them doing a bunch of different cameos and other artists' videos, as I said. And it was just like, when they joint dropped, I remember listening to, and I'm thinking for back then, I remember listening to both groups, but it was just like, okay. At that time, it was like, I can't listen to Das EFX all the way through all the time, because it was just like, but now thinking back to it, I can listen to Das EFX because they switched up their stuff in their music. So I'm thinking back as a younger person, thinking, okay, is this all? So I listened to their joints, which I liked, but I like, Chief Rock and Here Come the Lords. I used to kind of go and play their stuff on replay all the time. But I like both. But going back, I listened to a little bit more of that. More.
I feel you on that. I do. I felt doing my research upon this particular battle, I found myself, I guess I rarely choose a side most of the time, but like I found myself kind of leaning more towards those of the underground for like, for like just a nostalgic listen. Whereas Das always gives you the nostalgia though. That's the thing. Like that's something that they mastered. Like it's really good. It's like they proud of it. Like that record comes on, it's like, oh, that's an era.
Yeah.
But to Breeze's point, and which is the way I was kind of phrasing the question, was like in that era, who you listening to more? Like just kind of respectfully, like who you like more in 93 and 94, whatever age you happen to be at that point period. Like I remember just someone at work had the tape, and when I would always like take the tape and keep playing the tape in the fucking in the work radio, and like I just fucking love those underground back then. But that was just me. Again,
I'll say the same thing. I was rocking Lords more than Das.
Okay, so sure.
Das EFX, they looking back at it now, this shit is like damn. You really listen to it.
Frenchie used that from the Lords, French Montana. His first single.
He did.
Yeah.
He sure fucking did.
He did. He really, he did.
He made like a little quiet monster like hit out of that.
He did.
Yeah.
That shit is hot. Like I play that.
Yeah, that song is hot.
First of all, shout out to Harry Fraud on that. Fraud is a really good producer at like taking old school nostalgic golden era beats and making them trap. And he's really good at that shit. He did the same thing with Royal Flush's joint. With
that Worldwide joint?
No.
Yeah, that's Worldwide.
That's Worldwide?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had a different name, I bet. Yeah. The Coke Boy shit. Hold on, Philly's chiming in the room here saying, to piggyback, I'm feeling Das and concur with the voting, but have to agree with Cool B. I don't know why I'm leaning Lords. Yeah, again, like I said, I think in hindsight, it's easy to see who was like the more popular group and who's the more nostalgic one. It's Das, But like I said, in doing my research today, I just found myself listening a little more intent to Lords of the Underground music. Like Das, it's almost like I just needed like the first 4 or 5 bars. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like next, and like let's just keep it moving. Whereas Lords, I was like, I rock for a minute. Like that was I remember this shit. This shit. So I say that to say in the room, Hobo, where do you stand?
So
not that there's anything wrong with listening to Das.
This may come to a surprise, but I will say So for me, in 93, 94, that was like the prime of my college years when everything was sweet, life was good. And, you know, parties were lovely. And
Oh, you had to worry there was a beeper bill at that point.
yeah, right. I'm gonna go Lords of the Underground, actually.
Piggity pause. Piggity pause.
Pause. Because if I'm going back to being in college and parties, there was definitely more Lords of the Underground played than DOS. Even though I was a huge DOS fan, DOS fan.
Right.
Like I said, I went to go see them in concert. I never went to go see Lords of the Underground in concert, and I probably, if someone had asked me to go, I might have even said no. But party songs and nostalgia, college vibe, Lords of the Underground.
That's dope. It's interesting too because at that point in that era, you could have parties and play records like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Both of those guys. You could play both of those guys. As dark and underground. You could still get away. And people like, still like, that's my shit. So very, very cool and interesting era if you were around for it. Unfortunately, youngsters weren't, but god damn it, we had a fucking good old time.
We had a good damn time.
Dan, I'm assuming you feel the same way, you feel differently. Like which way are we leaning towards? How's this working out for you?
Nah, man, I'm in agreement with everybody here. I think, and it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about a second ago. I think DOS, they sold more, they had a bigger debut, they had a bigger impact. But I think most of the singles at that time were Lords of Underground that really had the impact, the reach that we can kind of grab onto at the time. You know what I mean? So for me, like I definitely related more, even though DOS Effects was big, they were impactful, but somehow the closeness was with the Lords of the Underground. I felt more, I felt going back to the Lord Jazz record, I definitely listened to that more than once trying to listen to those scratch patterns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Excuse me. Whereas DOS Effects, it's kind of like what you said. You was like, yeah, I get it. It's cool. It's dope. But then, you move on to the next where Lords kind of gave me that. I need to go back and listen to something. You know what I mean? So I'm going with Lords for this one.
I hear you on that. I'm putting it down. Looks like it is a Lords of the Underground sweep in round number 5. It looks like we're coming to the end of this here battle. I am tallying up the scores on the side here. I'm gonna come up with an answer for you fellas in a second. Are there any excuse me? Are there any particular songs that you feel we should have covered that we didn't? I feel like we should at least have an honorable mention for
the Lords, the TikTok.
Oh shit! Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about that, but okay, I'm with you on that. That's Marley Marl again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Can someone look that up while I tally this shit up?
Yep, I got you.
But TikTok,
that was the Keepers of the Funk. Is that what that was on?
that was on the second.
Yeah.
That was on TikTok. Yep.
Second.
That was Marley Marl on production. Yes, it was.
Which means K-Dad. No, I don't know.
But you know what? I don't remember anything else off of this album, the second album.
This to me was a quiet album. It didn't resonate like the first one. But wasn't there another song on there?
I mean, I don't.
I'm looking at it.
They had a song with Redman, What I'm After. I don't remember that song.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't remember that.
I remember that.
Do you?
I remember that one.
TikTok, What I'm After, Faith. Yeah, Faith.
I'm after gold.
Faith was kind of church related. I remember, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember What I'm After. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
You probably heard it twice. You don't remember.
Keep Us in the Funk.
Probably.
Keepers of the Funk doesn't sound familiar to me either.
No, and it had George Clinton on it, and I don't remember that one either.
TikTok was So they kind of started fading fast.
They got the Redman sample. I'm after the gold, and after that the platinum. Tell them what I'm at.
Okay.
Keeps up. Boom.
Apparently, they released an album in 2020. Wow.
Good for them. Yeah, with Snow Goons.
Yeah.
Oh, Snow Goons on production. Okay.
That's the production's gonna be good.
Yes.
What are those guys? They're another European, but what country are they from?
German.
German. Okay. They've done a lot of. I know they did an Onyx joint. They did
They've done some hot joints.
Yeah, I remember that. You're right.
No.
All right. So, what's your tally?
All right. Well, I mean, it basically boils down to the following here. After tonight's total score, 5 rounds, Daz Effects versus Lords of the Underground. We've had it happen before, and it looks like it's happening again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to a motherfucking tie.
Oh,
Wow.
A direct tie. First question, when we talk
So,
about mentors,
both of them.
split decision
Both of them.
for both of them.
Yeah.
When we moved on to question number 2, round 2, when we talk about production, it leaned over towards the Lords. When we talked about who had the better debut album, we ended up giving that up to Daz. And when we talked about JUSSUMEN versus Flow On, we gave that to Daz. And in the last round, respectively, who did you like more in 93-94? We gave it to the Lords. So that's 2 rounds to Daz, 2 rounds to the Lords, a 50-50 split on the very first question. So we're at a fucking tie. I don't have a tie-breaking question.
Ooh.
It's tough to come up with questions. But if you have to throw some questions in every weekend, it'd be awesome. Just saying. Shout out to those that do.
Let
Philly, you want to decide the deciding vote? You want to give it
Philly.
up and
Come on, Philly.
Philly 2AZ in the building.
And Philly says. We're still waiting.
Is he listening? Does he know?
Is he still
You should write it in the chat. Hey Philly, who do you got? Hey Philly. Who do you got?
Is Sensor around? Is he watching?
Can someone text him?
Philly said
No,
Lord.
got it.
Lord, you get the Lord. I didn't see that coming.
Oh.
I, for some reason, thought he was gonna go with Daz. I do not know why, but he gave it up. He did. Wow, in the clinch. Wow, Lords. Oh my goodness, we're putting Philly's name up.
Wow. Okay, Philly.
Oh. Lords of the Underground taking it tonight. It was a slim win. Like I said, I personally, shout out to Philly 2AZ for that. I personally, like I said, upon doing my research for tonight's battle, again, I try not to get caught up in either kind of corner, but I really fell in love with Lords of the Underground, I guess, catalog again. Not the entire albums, but the songs specifically from the first album, specifically those singles. So like it was for me, it was kind of like, I think this first album for me spoke a lot of volumes in terms of more than Daz Effects, but that's me after the fact. When it comes down to you guys in the room and people in the chat, you guys decided tonight, Lords of the Underground are the official winners of tonight's Who Do You Got?
All right.
Philly gonna start punching his walls.
He got crazy.
Damn it!
Got crazy up in the scores. Shout out to both teams, right? Lords of the Underground, Daz Effects for dropping so much dope hip hop for us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Dope
Shout out
group.
to the producers and the musicians involved. You know what I'm saying? All involved. Specifically, Marley, K-Def, Solid Scheme, Daz Effects, Primo, because Primo always did right by fucking Daz Effects.
Right.
Pete Rockford for doing something for Gems for Both. Who else we forget?
Easy Mo B.
Easy Mo B. Just being a legend. Shit. Just cuts. It's bigger than just this battle for Easy Mo Moby.
Right.
Man, do an Easy Moby battle producer. Like,
Okay, let's do it.
because he is such a fucking like I don't know how I don't play cards, but like whatever that like you just see that like
Yeah.
oh, he got an Easy Moby card. Like
Yeah.
Right.
there's a lot of songs that come with Easy Moby
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Like the fuck. So yeah, we might have to do an Easy Moby versus we might have to talk about. Leave it in the chat, leave it in, in the comments, leave it in, hit us on Instagram, wherever you think, we think Easy Moby might have to battle, but we'll definitely have a discussion about it very soon.
Yeah, word.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Chucky Thompson.
Yeah, rest in peace to Chucky Thompson, man.
I'm such a Chucky fan.
Oh.
I've said it in personal conversation with these guys before. That shit hurt me today. I
I didn't even know.
like
I didn't even know.
Yeah, man, COVID got him.
Damn.
Oh man.
Chucky is a legend.
Legend.
Prayers go to his family.
Yeah, man.
I think I mentioned to you guys before, like I always liked him as a hitman, but then he did this side project once with this guy named Frankie. That was just one of the
that project was dope, bro.
So
That's
good.
fire.
So,
It's called, the dude's name is Frankie?
yeah, he's from
Frankie.
DC, as a matter of fact. I'm not thinking. He's from DC. He ended up doing a G-Unit like deal at one point, but it never came out. But this is like way before the G-Unit deal. Like
He put out they put out an album?
so
Like
the artist name is Frankie, and it came out something like Warner Brothers or something like that.
Like 97,
Huh?
like 97, around 97 it came out.
Yes, I'd say you're right. Around 97.
And it's an album?
Chucky
Yeah.
produced pretty much the whole album. It's an R&B album, and he's looking to produce the album. And it's like Chucky's baby. It's like his little project.
Yo, I have them vinyl somewhere in my house, man.
I have that album too. That album is fire.
Damn, another young guy.
Frankie IE, not Y at the end, by the way.
Okay.
Because it's no like last name or anything. It's just Frankie.
I'm trying to remember the first thing was called I Gotta Love or I Got a Baby, something like that. That was the first single. I Gotta Love, something like that.
Chucky, you could hear his R&B sound all over that project, and then you could see how it resonated like with hip hop on it, right? Like bringing sounds like that to Bad Boy, like
Yeah, he was just on the Mary J. Blige documentary.
oh, I gotta watch.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it, but he was.
Now I definitely want to watch it. Yo, rest in peace, Chucky. I was a real Chucky fan. That's no bullshit.
Yeah, bro.
I'm a Chucky fan. We here on the channel we've talked about possibly doing like a Hitman episode or something like that, and I would like relish the thought of like having like we even talked about maybe having like Chucky on the show one point when we were
word.
Yeah, word.
Like, Chucky, I really rest in peace. I was like, nah, not Chucky. I really like he was a dope musician. Period.
Yeah, he was.
Period. He did
Played a lot of instruments too, man.
Little trivia nuggets for anybody that ever wants to drop. Like, so what did he ever do? Like beyond just the fucking exuberantly long list of fucking tracks he did for people. Buck Wild produced Got a Story to Tell, right? For Biggie.
Right.
They couldn't clear the sample. They needed someone to play the guitar over. They bring in Chucky Thompson. That's what you hear on Biggie's Got a Story to Tell. Chucky Thompson replaying the sample.
Oh, shoot, I didn't know that.
Live guitar. It was a sample.
What's
He
the
completely did because they were like, we don't know what to do. They said, fuck it, just send it to Chucky, see if he could do something. I read this like in some kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And he did that shit. And like Buck Wild, I think even gives it up like I didn't do much but the drums after that shit. Like he took the whole shit and like did it over.
Wow.
They were like, we can't clear it. And he was like, I could do that shit. And he did. So that secretly, quietly, and I think legitimately, like credit-wise, I think he's good on that. Like I think he gets his probably, but like that's a quiet little nugget. Like for those that don't know, that's Chucky Thompson playing guitar as the sample on Got a Story to Tell. Rest in peace, Chucky Thompson. So guys, we bring it to another ending tonight. Again, we do this every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here live on Twitch TV. Eats, Beats, and Rhymes is the name of the channel. Who Do You Got is the name of the show. Tune in. Again, we love doing this for you guys every fucking week. Don't forget to tune in whenever we do recaps on versus battles that kind of make sense for us to make recaps on. We'll do them for you. But catch them live and get ready to catch more of these, previous battles up on YouTube soon. We'll have more information for you guys in a minute. Anyway, to my brethren in the room, I say good night, fellas. Thank you for everything. It's been a
All
great
right.
battle. Again, Lords of the Underground, where the succeeders tonight. Give it up to Lords of the Underground, and we'll see each other next week. Everybody have a great night.
Peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
Eats, beats, and rhymes.